What up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY. Welcome back to another episode of What's Happening Now. Our look at the underground happenings. A lot of shit. What I fucking tell you guys. I wanted to do one before the gathering because I felt like after the gathering we were going to have some shit to fucking talk about. And I really should have done this video last weekend, but I wanted to let it simmer for a little bit longer. And I wanted to just kind of gather my thoughts on it more. So a large bulk of this episode is going to be talking about the seminar because ICP actually had a fucking seminar. Holy shit. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk? They actually brought it back. They actually announced some shit. A lot of people left this gathering and they left this seminar disappointed because there was no reveal of the Joker card, the 6th Joker's card. There was nothing, none of that, right? There was no hype for it. And I honestly am glad that they didn't because, you know, obviously Violent J, and we just talked about it on the last episode of What's Happening Now, Violent J has stated he's not inspired right now, so I don't think there's any reason to be kind of prodding that at the moment, just because if he's still trying to finesse it in his own head of what he thinks it should look like, what the moral should be, what the concept should be, you know, and then obviously he's got to sit down and he's got to talk to Shags about it. If Shags is going to be the one designing it, leaving that, to me, it was kind of like, I'm okay that they didn't really say anything about the 6th because they haven't even started on it. So I feel like doing anything like that for the 6th is just too soon. And honestly, I mean, for the second hand of Joker cards, every reveal has been at Hallowicked. Death Pop was revealed at Hallowicked, Lost and Found, The Missing Link, Marvelous Missing Link, Fearless Fred Fury, and Yum Yum Bedlam, all revealed during Hallowicked. And I feel like they're not going to break that tradition yet. If they did, obviously they would do it for the 6th. But I feel like that's where they're going to do an image reveal and maybe a name reveal. They pretty much they've already revealed the name. Like, there's no tiptoeing around it. In the fucking Talks Hit podcast, he already kind of like teased it. They re-uploaded that reel that was already translated, so we got the translation of it, and we can safely say it's it's nothing. It's nothing. Is the 6th. But I think an image reveal is going to come at Hallowicked. I wholeheartedly believe that. So first, before we jump into any of the seminar stuff, any of the news like that, I want to plug the homies, Deck Wendell at the Gathering. These guys worked their asses off and put together a mixtape. I got to hear some shit. Me and Megs, we actually got to hear some shit at Camp Zool. Keezy and Chris pulled us aside into Keezy's car and played us some shit off of the Homage, which is what dropped. They were giving it out for free if you were at the gathering, and you can go right now, deckwendell.com/the Homage. That is how you spell the Homage. Some people pronounce it the Homage. That's how I pronounced it. There's a little skit on here that I had to re-record because I said the Homage. And Keezy was like, technically that is also a correct way to say it, but for this album we're calling it the Homage. So I did have to re-record my little skit that you hear at the beginning of Faygo Armageddon. But they put out this mixtape. You can go grab a physical copy of it right now, deckwendell.com/the Homage. Technically, you're buying a sticker pack, and the stickers that you're going to be paying for is a Broken Fort sticker, which is the rap group that's the name of their rap group from like 2004, 2005, back then when they were rapping. And then, of course, the cartoon Nightmares designs. But these ones are a little bit different. If you've been to a gathering and gotten a sticker from them, these ones actually have their names on them, whereas the ones they were giving out in the past did not. So leveling up with each fucking sticker pack. So you are technically buying stickers when you go onto their website, and I think he's throwing in as well 3D printed Hatchetmen. So when you go to the website and you go to order the CD, you're technically ordering stickers, but you're also getting a physical CD. We'll flip it over to the back. That is what it looks like. This album is absolutely awesome. I'm loving it. If you are an old school hip hop head, you're gonna love this. The beats on here are old hip hop beats. There's one on here, and I don't even know the original beat's name, but track 13, FU, is a Redman and Method Man beat. Jesus fuck. Track 2, Damn It Feels Good. Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangsta, Ghetto Boys. So they got some really dope beats on here. And this whole CD right here is their homage to being a juggalo, their homage to the culture, but also it's an homage to old school hip hop. So any hip hop heads out there, I think, would enjoy this. Any juggalos out there will enjoy this. And I know in the past I've talked about like pandering. This album is directly themed to be juggalo as fuck. So this album, heavy with the juggalo references. So it is for juggalos, by juggalos. And if you would like to hear it, you can head over to deckwendell.com/the-homage, and you can actually listen to it for free. It is a mixtape, so you can listen to it for free there. You can download it there on the website. And if you want to support what they're doing, you can grab some stickers and get a physical copy of the album as well. So make sure you do that. I will put a link in the description for you to go do so. But wanted to plug that for the homies because that shit is fucking dope. And it's not just dope because I'm on it. It's dope because they fucking killed it. I'm just on it as like my little stamp of like, yo, I fucking want to support this however I can. Hey, here you guys go. But closing out of that now, the other thing I want to talk about before we get into the seminar, because again, it's going to take up a lot of probably our chunk here. But the Coal Chamber Fiend for the Fans tour, which was going to be featuring Twisted and Fear Factory, has been postponed until the spring. That's a little disappointing for me. I super was getting excited for this show to come up. I actually, the day before they rescheduled it, put in for my request to have the time off so that I could go to the show and not have to, rush home the same night and try to go to work the next day with very little sleep. And then they fucking canceled it like 2 days later. And I was like, God damn it. So for those who are wanting to hit that tour, it's been postponed. My thoughts on it is disappointed. I really am excited to go see Fear Factory with their new singer. I'm actually a little excited to go listen to Twisted do some rock shit because I've come around to Unlikely Prescription, and I think that it's not as bad of a record as many people say it is. And I'm sure I'm getting fucking flamed in the comments right now. But I do wonder what this means for their new album, Welcome to Your Funeral. I had my suspicions that they planned to release that album right before this tour started. They just released a single called Fed Up. So I don't know if they're going to postpone the album's release date or if they were ever even planning to release it for this tour. I felt like that made sense for them to go on this tour with a brand new rock album. So I'm curious if that affects that at all. But, it seems to me like their focus is on House of Crazies. The other thing that I want to talk about real quick is they did another Throwback Thursday, one day only mystery box, and I did not order it. The last one I left just a little bit, I don't want to say salty, but disappointed with some of the stuff that I got in there. I honestly think that the box was well worth the $40. Everything you got in there added up to well over $40, but it was a lot of shit that I already had. The DVD, the For the Fam, those were the things that I was like, oh, these are new, these are cool. And in total, those two items probably came out to maybe $25, $30 worth of stuff. The Abominations, I didn't need. The Wicked, I didn't need. The Mutant, I did not need. So going into this box here, I was super hesitant all day long the day that it was out. They did this box a little bit different because the previous one, everyone who was subscribed to their newsletter got it a little bit early. However, this time, those who are subscribed to the newsletter just kind of knew about it. And then the day of is when everyone could pre-order it. And they said pre-order on there, but I did see in an email it was limited to only 500 physical copies of this album. But they were doing another Throwback Thursday for the Samhain Witch Killaz. And originally, I kind of got excited because I know a lot of people did. I talked to fucking Ronebone about it. I talked to fucking Juggalo972 about it. I was talking with Robbie and them in the UPC Discord about it. Like, there was a lot of people that got really excited for the Samhain Witch Killaz. If you don't know what that is, originally, and I'm going to kind of like off fuzzy memory here, and I know it's not completely accurate because in one of the emails they actually described what it was originally supposed to be. But my memory of Samhain Witch Killaz was it was supposed to be like a revival of House of Crazies, but with Blaze Ya Dead Homie included. So it was going to be ROC, Twisted, and Blaze, you know, with Twisted rapping under their House of Crazy names. That's the way I remembered it. There was a little ad in it was for Mutant, believe it or not. Kind of weird that they did that in the previous, they gave me that CD, and then in this little Throwback Thursday box, they are now doing Samhain Witch Killaz. But, yeah, they put out the CD, and they put out an email saying what all was going to be on the CD, and I immediately was like, I'm glad I didn't pre-order it. I'm not planning to pre-order it. It has Nosferatu version 2. It's got When It Gets Dark, Nightmares, Spider Things, Inside Looking Out, and Wicked OG. Now, all of these tracks, all of them have been pressed on a CD. And for me, that was the misleading part of the box, because it said on there in the original thing, in the original fucking advertisement for it, that it has... I feel like I need to look it up because I don't have it pulled up here real quick. Yeah, it says right here, never before pressed on CD. That for me was super misleading because all of these songs have been pressed on a CD, but obviously they mean the actual album has never been pressed on CD. So these 5-6 tracks have already been heard before. They've already been released. Wicked OG, it says here that it's got a different... You may notice the beat turned into something else familiar, and Monoxide's verse had never seen the light of day until now. That's probably like the newest... I mean, that's probably the most unheard song of everything that's on here. But as soon as I saw this track list, I was easily able to go, okay, my FOMO is gone. I'm not even worried about it. It's cool for people that were really hyped for that, and it's going to be a cool collector's piece to have those songs there, but it felt like a very unnecessary purchase for me. I would be interested in getting the CD someday, but I just don't really have I didn't really have the desire to get the box. And right now, the box, you can't get it anymore. You can still get the shirt and the hat that they had, but yeah, I don't know. I went into it like super excited, but also kind of confused because it felt super weird for them to release this so close to House of Crazies coming out. But then it also made sense because Samhain Witch Killaz was like a spin-off of House of Crazies. So, you know, when they first announced it, I was like, there's no way they're putting out a full fucking album of songs from this group that never came to be this close to a new House of Crazies. It would have been really cool, but seeing it as it is, it's going to be a cool collector's piece for a lot of people that did get it. But yeah, and if they would have had just the CD available, that would have been fine. That would have been cool. But yeah, I have no FOMO on not getting this. I would love for someone to send me a rip of the song, of the album, of the EP. I would love to have that at least on my phone, but the FOMO of getting the CD, it's just not there. But it was cool that they did it, and it makes me that much more excited and interested to see if they do what I hope they do. If you haven't seen my unboxing for the Fam mystery box, I had said that I hope they keep doing these Throwback Thursday mystery boxes, and that has me hopeful for them to eventually do one for the Cryptic Collection Halloween edition. And like, my hopes for that has gone up since they did this. And I'm like, they essentially took some of the songs that were on the Halloween edition anyways and put them on this CD. So at this point, there's really nothing left holding them back, I feel, from actually doing that. And that would be a box that I will definitely scoop up in a fucking heartbeat. But I would be interested to get the Samhain Witch Killaz CD. I just did not want to get the mystery box. But they did do that. It's hyping up House of Crazies. But yeah, so I will be watching, because I think the homie Juggalo Collectibles grabbed one. So I'll be watching for his unboxing. I know he's not going to open up the CD because he just never does. Like, he does not want them to breathe. He wants them to suffocate in their cellophane. Let's move on to the main event. Let's move on to the gathering. Let's move on to the ICP Mystery Seminar, which I don't know why they called it a mystery seminar this time around. It was an actual seminar, and a lot of people were happy to see it back. I was happy to see it back, but I want to put one little thing out there. When it comes to the seminar anymore, I take everything that they talk about in the seminar with a grain of salt. I've been conditioned to do that. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just conditioned to do that because they've done so many seminars where they talk about things they're going to do. They've done so many interviews where they say there's things that they're going to do, and it never comes to be. So any new juggalos out there that watch this seminar and immediately like, fuck yeah, keep in mind, all of this is ideas until it actually happens. Violent J is a dreamer. Sometimes his dreams don't make it to reality. It sucks. I mean, fucking Looney Goons was a super group that was teased back in 2018 at the ICP seminar. It was supposed to be everybody on the label at the time in a new super group. Never came to be. So, you know, there's things that they've talked about in these seminars. They don't always happen. So just keep that in mind. But let's jump into this. I think the most feasible thing and the first thing that they talked about was the Train of Terror tour. And they want to do it very much caravan style. And I'm not really going to spill like all the news that was happened just because like there's other people who've already talked about it. Fable Lovers has it posted. The video's out there for people to see. I want to give more of my reaction for it. And I think the Train of Terror tour, the concept of doing the convoy, really fucking awesome on paper. Pulling it off, that's going to be interesting to see. Just because they said in the seminar their plan was to let everyone know before they leave the venue. I see it happening where either they forget to let someone know or someone doesn't find out and they get left behind. I can see that being an issue. I can see traffic being an issue, weather being an issue. There's so many things that's going to cause people to get separated. The idea is so fucking dope on paper, but I hope they can pull this thing off because it's going to be fucking epic. I'm curious what the gift will be for those. They said that anyone that can make it to all 8 shows, because there's supposed to be 8 shows in total, I think, including Hollow Wicked, right? And there's supposed to be a special gift for anyone who makes it to all 8 shows. So that to me seems like that's going to be separate from the Hollow Wicked single. Maybe. Like, you know what? You know what would be really cool? Is if during this tour, each night had its own little single, and whoever made it to all of them gets like a little Hollow Wicked EP. I doubt it, just because Jay has already said he's not recording anything. He has said that he's not inspired right now. So if they did have a little CD that they put out, I don't think it would be very great, because I think it would be a lot of forced content. But that would be really dope. I'm curious what it is, though. It's got to be like some kind of an amulet. Maybe like a VIP, maybe some kind of a pass that said I did it. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's a new little clout token that they're going to give out. And that's a great segue for the next thing to talk about. They did say that the Ultra Live Monster 5 is still happening, and that the 5th and final show is going to take place. They want to do it in like the Bahamas, or they want to do it in Jamaica. They want to do it on an island is what they want to do. Listen, I've only got 2 clout tokens, so like the Ultra Live Monster 5 thing is, for me, is just like, okay, whatever. But, you know, as time has gone on, and I've been to a couple gatherings now, there are issues that are happening that when it comes to the benefits of getting all 5 of the clout tokens and getting the fucking Juggalo card, which is, if my memory serves me correctly, because it's been a minute, wasn't that supposed to give you like a discount at merch? It was supposed to give you a discount on concert tickets, and it was going to essentially act like a fast pass at Disney World. Like, you show up to a venue, you flash your Juggalo card, they let you in immediately into the venue, and you get first pick at the merch, and you get a discount on that merch. I remember that for sure. Those 2 things were definitely for sure, but I can't remember if there was supposed to be a discount for concert tickets or not. But I don't know. I feel like that's not going to be executed properly. And I don't like being the negative Nancy about that kind of shit. It's just, there's kind of a history now of like great ideas, just poor execution. So yeah, the last Ultra 5, Monster 5, like I'm not going to go. Again, I've only got 2 of my clout tokens. So, what were the other 2? It was the Hootenanny Hoedown, and then was it the I think it was Juggalo Day, right? 2022? Was it 2022 that they did that one? It was the like the 80s rock metal, right? Yeah, that sounds right. So yeah, I mean, and there's so many people that I see selling their clout tokens now anyway, is that like, I don't know, but yeah, the show going down on in Jamaica, that'd be cool, but who all's gonna be able to make it to that, man? That's gonna be fucking expensive. So they talked a little about wanting to do like a cruise ship. That does not sound like a good idea at all. I want to like really point out and highlight some of the things. Obviously, they talked about the DCG Con going down in Worcester. I've already said what I've said about that. Super excited to see the DCG Con coming back. But what was the other thing on here that I really wanted to talk about? Oh, ICP at the VMAs next month. Now, they just did an interview with Hot 97, and that was one of the things that got brought up. And I commented on it, and I've already got people like commenting back, like not happy with what I said. I thought it would have been a lot cooler for ICP to give the middle finger back to MTV, because MTV gave them the middle finger for so many years. Like, I get it. I think it's cool that they're finally getting their flowers from the mainstream world, but like, they never needed that. Like, it's cool, but I don't know. For me, it's like whatever, because I don't care about that mainstream world. I don't care about MTV. I don't care about the VMAs. Like, I would rather see ICP get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame than see them at the VMAs. I'm not going to watch the VMAs one way or the other. So, like, it's cool to see them getting their flowers. It's cool to see the mainstream coming around and, you know, giving them the props that they deserve. But it's like, I don't feel like they needed that, because their legacy is already there. Juggalos are here. They've created this subculture. They've been fucking killing it for over 30 years. They've done the Gathering for 25 years. Like, they don't need anyone's approval. And I don't think they need those flowers. But it is cool to see them get those flowers, I guess, is what I would like to say. So, yeah, the 25th anniversary Gathering of the Juggalos is supposed to be called the Gathering of Legends, bringing back all legendary performers who have performed in the past 25 years of gatherings. Expect surprises. Now, I know people all over, what they want and what will happen is not going to be, right? They've already done the Gathering of Dreams, where it was supposed to be the dream gathering for the Juggalos. There was supposed to be, one day was for the Juggalos, one day was Shaggy's picks, one day was Jay's picks, one was Jump Steady's picks, and they all, like, picked what they wanted. That theme for that gathering was my first glimpse of, like, okay, could they possibly bring some artists back? I don't ever expect them to bring Twisted back. I don't expect them to ever bring somebody back who signed Magic Ninja Entertainment. They're very vocal about that being like water under the bridge for them. They're moved on from it. They're never going to revisit that. And I honestly, at this point, really don't expect them to. My thing about it is, and I know somebody had said something, I'd seen something, I think in Discord recently, where somebody brought that up to Shaggy during the Shaggy show. And Shaggy straight up was like I don't fuck with them. I don't keep up with them. You know, they don't exist to me. And I think that is where I'd love to see Jay get, because Jay's, you know, he's been seen on Instagram in comments, you know, poking fun at Twisted. Obviously, he said the fuck Twisted thing at last year's Gathering. I would love to see them just acknowledge. Like, I want to see Jay get to a point that Shaggy seems to be, where it's kind of like they acknowledge that they're part of their history and their legacy, and that legacy is the past, and they're just going to focus on the future. but I don't think it's quite there yet. It's kind of like this weird flip side, because when Twisted first was getting their masters from ICP and putting out albums without the Hatchet on, I was like, yo, this feels like they're trying to erase being part of the fucking Hatchet, being part of that world. And, you know, I know ICP just recently put out a like repressed version of Big Money Hustlers, where they took Twisted's name off of the credits. They took their name out of the end credits in the movie, like didn't even credit them at all. And it's kind of like, it's the same thing. And it's, for me, it's, why not be the better person and just like acknowledge that that's part of their past. It's part of their history. It's just such a weird move for me. And I forget where it was, I fucking seen it, but there was somebody who had quoted Gandhi, and they said that, I think the Gandhi quote is, an eye for an eye leaves the world blind. Like, I want to see, I just want to see more just coexisting, if that makes sense. And I think for a lot of them, they are kind of coexisting. But on the same hand, we need Juggalos to like stop bringing it up. Like, obviously, I would love to see them fucking reunite, but it's never going to happen. And I think at this point, I want to just like, I just want to see them like do them at this point, you know? I feel like I've talked about that before, but yeah, we've gone down this weird rabbit hole. I hate getting on this topic because of that. It's such a touchy topic. So fucking touchy. But yeah, I don't think they're ever going to reunite. I don't ever see it. And honestly, at this point, you know, like for them, like for Shaggy, you know, obviously watching the Tell All interview they did with Faygo Lovers, you can see the hurt in their face. You can hear the hurt in their voice talking about the whole situation. So there's obviously some real feelings there that they have. And no matter how much time has passed, I think they still have those feelings to this day. And that's kind of one of the big reasons why I go back and watch that interview every so often, because it's kind of like I want to be reminded of, you know, how did we get here? And to see that raw emotion for me, it's that reminder of like, they felt their feelings about what happened, just like Twisted has felt their feelings about what happened. And for me at this point, if they feel if they still feel that way about it, then I absolutely don't think they should work together at all. So like, I don't want to see a Dark Lotus reunion if there's feelings there that they haven't worked out. If they still have those bad feelings, then I absolutely do not want it. I don't want Twisted at the Gathering, because I don't think the energy is going to be right. I want it to truly be a forgiveness moment and fucking reunite and then absolutely kill it. And until that comes, I don't want it. So when it comes to the Gathering of Legends, I don't want to see Twisted there. I don't want to see anybody from Magic Ninja Entertainment there if there are ill feelings on either side. It's got to be a completely, you know, it's got to be like there's got to be a moment of healing that they have had, and they're able to just like fucking reunite and kill it kind of thing. So when it comes to the Gathering of Legends, and Megs and I were just talking about this today, she's like, who would they have to announce at the Gathering to make you want to go next year? And I straight up, I was like, well, I mean, Zug Island, I think, is very possible. I think Big Hoodoo is very possible. I'd love to see him back. Kung Fu Vampire, obviously. Super Famous Fun Time Guys, SON. I would love to see Zool there. They're still signed to MNE. And until they're off that label, and then, you know, it can be presented to like, you know, hey, we did the same thing you guys did with Jive and Island. So, you know, fucking like, don't hold us accountable for something that you like also did 30 years ago kind of thing. I would love to see Zool there, but as long as they're still signed to MNE, it's not going to happen. So I can expect them not to be there. Obviously I'd love to see Tech 9 back. I know some people think that they have beef, but I think the beef is honestly water under the bridge as well with them. I know it's been brought up in you know, fucking interviews and podcasts recently, but you know, that beef happened in 2017. Tech 9 performed in 2018 and 2019. So after they had their little feud, Tech 9 has been there. So it's not unlikely for him to not go back. I know in the past, Tech 9 has said he usually charges $40K to perform at the Gathering. So the only way I could see him not being at the Gathering is if that's still his asking price and they are like, fuck no. And then they don't book him. That's the only way I could see it not being. But Tech 9 is somebody I'd like to see back. Chris Calico, Ritz, Mayday, Cess Crew, which I guess Cess Crew is kind of debunked now. Ubiquitous. I would love to see a solo set from Ubiquitous. Fucking King ISO. Bring back fucking strange music. Bring back fucking... where was my head just get ready to go? I don't even know. Jelly Roll. That's where I was going to say. Bring back Jelly Roll. Bring back Buckshot. The one motherfucker not signed to Psychopathic Records that marched. If this beef was really about the March and the Juggalos, they would not be treating Buckshot the way that they do, because he fucking marched. It's all about Young Wicked. That's what the beef's about. I would love to see Buckshot back. Did I say Jelly Roll? I think I did. There's there's a lot of great artists I'd like to see. I think that's kind of mainly the big ones. If they booked at least 3/4 of those artists, my interest would be, I want to go. You know what I mean? Which I want to go because it's going to be the 25th, but then on the same hand, I don't want to go because it's going to be the 25th. It's going to be a big one. There's going to be a lot of people there. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans. There's going to be a lot of just, I don't know. I'm just anticipating. I'm just anticipating problems. And maybe that's the wrong energy. I need to change that energy. But yeah, the Gathering of Legends, we'll see. We'll see what happens as time goes on. But I'm definitely interested. And they've already announced Big Ball is on a boat going down in December. I don't think I'll make it to that. But I would love to. But we have rambled on for like a good 30 minutes. Excuse me. So I think I'm going to call it there. But yeah, a lot of shit announced in the fucking seminar. And like I said, with a lot of it, you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt, because some of it is just ideas that they have that never come to fruition. But I think a lot of what they talked about in this seminar is things that are really in the work. They talked about doing Skank Fest. They talked about a fucking Violent J's podcast, which I think he's already missed an episode already. So that's off to a rocky start. JCW really seems to be where Jay's focus is right now. So I'm not a big wrestling fan, but that's cool for everyone that is. And I think it will help get them one step closer to being acknowledged by WWE and put into the Hall of Fame, because they've done a shit ton for the wrestling community. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Tell me down below what you guys thought about the seminar. What was your standout announcements? And are you guys going to make it to the fucking Train of Terror tour? If they come to Indiana, which I'm assuming they will, he said in the seminar, they said that it's going to be like, the stops are going to be 3 hours from the previous one. So I immediately was like, okay, Detroit, Fort Wayne is like 2 hours away. Columbus is like 2 hours away from Fort Wayne. So maybe they'll hit Columbus, then they'll hit Fort Wayne, then they'll go hit Detroit, or vice versa, because Columbus is only 2 hours from Detroit. I think there's a very likely chance they're coming to fucking Indiana during this tour, and that'll get me to see ICP this year, because we are not at this moment planning to go to Hall of Wicked. That might change, but if this tour hits close, we'll be there. So tell me down below what you guys are excited for. Tell me down below if you guys ended up getting the Samhain Witch Killaz box set, and do you think these box sets are worth it? Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.